Hey friends, today I want to talk to you about getting your GPS set correctly. And what do I mean by that? Now, most likely, if you are watching or listening along to our podcast, it's because you want to grow, okay? You want to be the best version of yourself. You have goals that you are working towards, whether or not it is, in your relationships, in your health, in your finance, in your career, in your business, whatever it might be. Most likely, if you are listening along, watching along, whatever it might be, you have goals, okay? However, I want to talk about, are you getting granular with your goals? Are you getting specific with your goals? Or are they very vague? Okay. I'll give you a few examples here. So I quite often have clients come to me, okay, and they want me to help them to go from here to here. However, it is not until I actually ask them and say, their goals might be, okay, I want to grow my business. Okay, I want to increase my finances. Um, However, when I say, okay, let's get specific on that, what exactly do you want? Quite often they don't know what they want. Okay, or quite often they don't know exactly where they are to be able to even measure where they are to where they want to go. So let's give you another example. You would not go to a coffee shop, okay? You would not go to a coffee shop and just say, I would like a coffee, okay? Now, I'm a non-coffee drinker here, so don't make fun of me. However, you would be specific about what you want when you order your coffee, okay? I imagine you would say what size you want, what type of milk you want, whether or not you want milk, whether or not it's, oat milk, soy milk, lactose free, almond milk, whatever it might be, whether or not it's a double shot of something, or whether or not you've got an extra flavoring in there. Because I imagine you're going to get differences. If you went up and just said, I want a coffee versus I want a, you know, whatever it might be, being very detailed, being very specific, very granular as to what you want included, what you don't want included, what that looks like for you, you're going to get two very different results, aren't you? Okay. So why do we get or why don't we get very granular and very specific when we're working out our goals and what we want? Okay. Because it's like setting our GPS. And the reason I like to talk about it as setting our GPS, it's like me deciding that I want to go out to a coffee shop and I want to drive there, but I don't decide before I go which coffee shop I want to go to. Okay. I'm not going to just get into a car and start driving. If I actually set my goals, okay, and a good way to set them, there's so many ways out there, but you can Google SMART goals and I can tell you a little bit about what they are because they help you to get specific. Um, is when you set that GPS, when you set that specific goal, when you work out what it is exactly that you want, okay, you can set that as your GPS. You're saying, this is where I'm going. This is what I want. This is all the things that are in my goal, okay? You can set your GPS and then you are making your way towards it. Now, does that mean that your GPS is going to take you the shortest route? Maybe not. Okay. However, if you don't set your GPS location of where it is that you want to go, how will you know if you're off track? Okay. Whereas your GPS, when you set it in your car, for example, and you deviate a little bit this way or you deviate a little bit that way, quite often it reroutes for you, okay? And it tells you now you've gone that way. That's not a problem. This is the way now that you need to go to get to your end destination. Okay? So that's what I mean by setting your goals, being specific, working out what they are so that you are getting exactly what you want because it's very different in ordering a coffee, for example, between ordering a coffee and specifically asking for what it is that you want. Okay. And I'm sure as the coffee drinkers here will completely understand that. But let's just talk about what it is that I mean by getting specific on your goal. So if we Google SMART goals, okay, and there's the acronym of SMART, okay, and I've got them here, so I'm just going to read them out to you. So when you're setting a goal, if you set it as a SMART goal, the S stands for specific. Okay, let's get really specific with what you are after. Okay, that's what that stands for. The M stands for measurable. Okay. If it's a financial goal, what is the income that you want to achieve? What is the profit that you want to make? What is the quantity that you want to achieve? Something that it can be measurable. Okay. Is it achievable? Now, this one's one. Let me dive into this a little bit more. Now, you can set an achievable goal. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, if I set a goal that I want to lose 10 kilos by tomorrow, that's not achievable. Okay? That is not achievable unless I'm having some kind of surgery or something like that. Okay. And even then, I'm not sure if that is achievable. So I do want you to push the boundaries here. Okay. I don't want this to be completely calculated because a goal should be something that you're working towards. In ideal fact, depending who you're following, we don't actually want to achieve the goal. We want to keep moving the goalpost forward so that we're constantly pushing outside our comfort zone and growing. Okay. However, the goal needs to be achievable, but I don't want you to be too calculated with it or you're never going to grow. Okay? You're never going to push. You're never going to push outside your comfort zone and go that little bit further. However, we do need to be realistic in the goals. Okay? So me losing 10 kilos by tomorrow within 24 hours is probably not going to be achievable. So have a think. Is it achievable? Is it a push? Is it a stretch goal? Or are you being too achievable and you've calculated this and that you know that you can achieve it? Okay. The next one is we've got R, so SMART, smart. Is it relevant? Okay. Is the goal relevant to you? Is it relevant to your values? Is it relevant to the bigger picture, your objectives and everything that you want to achieve? And the last one, T is for time-based. Okay. So you can put a deadline on it. You can set a time-based as to when you could achieve it. You could even break your goal into, 30-day goals, 60-day goals, 1-year goals, 2-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, all the plans. Because again, if they're all within the same relevance and the same objective to your career goals, for example, to your business goals, if they're you're going to see that they're all in alignment, they all have the same objective, and they're all making progress towards, the end goal where you've set your GPS to. So are you getting really specific, really granular with yourself when working out your goals? Okay. I want you to sit down and ask yourselves that and be aware when you are working out what your goals are, for example, are you focusing on what you want or what you don't want? Pay attention to that because quite often when I say, what are your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? What does your 10 out of 10 life look like? What does your 10 out of 10 business look like? How does that all sit together? Quite often you give me, I want this, but I don't want this, but I don't want that, but I don't want this. Okay. Be aware of that as well. And then be conscious to flip that around so that you're focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. Okay. Because we get more of what we focus on. Where energy goes, energy flows. Okay. So get specific on your goals. Use the SMART acronym if that is helpful so that you can get specific, measurable. Is it achievable? Is it relevant? And what time? Is it time-based? What time do I want to achieve this by? So that you can get really clear on what you want, where you are going, set your GPS so that you can put your order in and you can get exactly what you want for your 10 out of 10 business and your 10 out of 10 life. I hope this is helpful. See you next week. Bye-bye.